a couple of things. They were showing the idea of like the forbidden fruit, right? Like you're always told this is right and this is wrong. And it's always the question, who's telling you and why? Right? Is it automatic pilot? Is it passed down? Did they experience it? They're trying to save you from their doom because they couldn't navigate it. Who knows what? But it was kind of like that they were kind of showing that. It was like, this is wrong and this is right. And it was showing like a family and like the good siblings and the bad siblings, right? And then it was actually reversed. It was like the ones that were following the rules, thinking they were being obedient, were not, because they weren't thinking for themselves or determining for themselves. And ultimately, they weren't honoring themselves or loving themselves. And they were choosing to be the judge and jury, passing down the judgment of what is right and what is wrong, and playing the role of God, where the one who decided to be rebellious and think on their own and discover for themselves and choose and decide what is right and wrong for them was really the good one, right? Not necessarily, quote, the rebellious one. They were just an independent thinker and not controlled by the strings, lies, and ties of the rule books that were passed down. And so it is always interesting, right? All these lies and ties, confusion and delusion, and judgy wudgy was a bear. I've been hearing that a lot. Judgy wudgy was a bear. But then there was something else they wanted me to talk about. I think it was along the same lines, and it was giving away your blessings. But it was because of these lies and ties. That's what it was. It's like, I know I have experienced this where, oh God, how can I say all this? I'm distracted by the person who keeps using the lower in the background. I have experienced this with the people do mind magic and all types of things. And so you do have to get through all of that. You have to stay aligned through all of that, which can be challenging because depending on where you are, it was your vision, right? So isn't that, we could debate all of this. And so, how can I explain all this? So I thought I was being obedient to the vision, which I thought at that time was from unconditional love. Now I can see clearly and recognize that, of course, is not the case. It's not what... Well, actually, that's interesting. I was just going to say, not what your higher self wanted. I'm just trying to think because there was a series of visions, but when one did come in, I was happy about it. So was I still being obedient even though things had changed? So being obedient to an old timeline, an old vision. Interesting. Okay, I'll have to twirl on that one. Nonetheless, can you take me to the spot? Where was it? They were having me read something where you rejected him and gave yourself to other gods while in your land, meaning you rejected him, meaning your higher self, unconditional love, and went against yourself, abandoned yourself, and gave yourself to other gods, people outside yourself, while you were in your own land, while you were in your right mind, while you were in your body connected. You knew better. So now you must be slaves to foreigners in their lands. And so that's what happens when you when you go against yourself and choose another over you, even though it's not what you want, you're not speaking up, you're not standing up for yourself, you're not, when you do that, it's like you're handing over your power to that person. So then they're getting your blessings. Fuck. Have I done that? Right? We've all done that. But when you hear it that way, you're like, holy shit. Yeah, you got to build that backbone. Oh, man. And it's like you really have to protect it when it's growing because it's fragile. And so people keep coming in and kicking it down, and it's hard to keep rebuilding it. And testing you out when you haven't had enough practice. I mean, it's really, people take advantage of that. Oh, and he took me to a spot that said that too. Among my people are wicked men who lurk for victims like a hunter hiding a blind. They set their traps for men like a coop full of chicken. Their homes are full of evil plots. And the result? Now they are great and rich and well-fed and well-groomed, and there is no limit to their wicked deeds. They refuse justice to orphans and the rights of the poor. And it goes on and on. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, we've all experienced that. But when you hear it that way, I hope it has you realize, oh, I have to love me. I have to stand up for me. I'm not honoring me. Right? Like it's like I still can't, I feel like I still can't say it as clear as I'd like to because, again, automatically I hear and see they show me people who just don't get it because they look at that as being selfish or bad, and it's just the opposite. It's thumbing your nose at God when you don't honor and love yourself and stand up for yourself and choose for yourself. If you're constantly giving away your power, it's like, why the fuck are you here? You're choosing to be a slave? You're here to be a slave? Do you see? It's like you have to. And again, it's like the double whammy in the sense because many are taught. That's like how you're raised and taught and bred, to people please, to be kind, to be nice, to put others ahead of you, like all these things. And it can become so twisted and muddled and confused because it's all such a fine line. If you can hear it, it's not a fine line at all. It's very clear. You can still be very kind and loving and generous. It has nothing to do with that. Yet, if you can't hear, then you think it's selfish and arrogant and everything else. When you're just honoring yourself, standing up for yourself and choosing for yourself. And yet, when people are used to you pleasing them and cowtailing to them and everything else, they're going to throw a fucking fit when you grow a backbone. And they'll do everything. They'll send people in to kick down your backbone. Like they'll do anything and everything they can to get you back under their thumb. They liked having that control. They liked having all your blessings. That's what it is. You're giving away all your blessings. Oh boy. Yeah. They're showing this is what they mean by bait. They use me for bait a lot because a lot of people take my kindness for weakness and don't see the invisible team I got on my side. And they wonder why karma starts happening and all these things start happening when they do me wrong. And it's like, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that's on you. You know to be nice to people. Don't take advantage or be mean. Like you're just asking for it. I'm not doing anything. I'm just holding up a mirror. And my team is like, ooh, tasty treat for me, huh? Settle down. Gets wild. it's just wild seeing it. You'd think I'd be used to it by now, but it's wild seeing it from this angle, right? Because so many of us don't. So many of us don't recognize it or realize it or see it that way. And once you do, you're like, holy shit. And then you really have to find your balance, because then you do, or at least for me, I really had to cut everybody off and almost be a bitch, because, a lot of times they don't. Some really do recognize it. Some really do understand those rules and those laws that clearly and that way, and that's why they take advantage of it. Others don't. They're not awakened to the fact that their devil's running their show. Their devil's keeping them asleep and keeping them obedient to feeding all the demons inside of them. And so they're just not aware. That doesn't mean you don't have to cut them off. That doesn't mean you don't have to honor you. That doesn't mean you don't have to stand up for you, because it's still the same rule. So whether they're aware or not, if you're putting them ahead of you, you're offering them your blessings. Do you see? But those that intentionally do it, they're the ones where the karma's bad news bears. I mean, they really get whacked. But those who don't, they're not, and they awaken to it, or they start to open their eyes and think, why are all these people around me? Why is all this happening? Right? Who are they sending the evil eye to? Who are they speaking ill of? Who are they gossiping about? Who are they? And then next thing you know, they're like, oh my God, they're all doing that. And they're all having it. And it's like, oh God, am I partaking? Oh my God, am I participating? Or you have to, now you're aware. Now you are aware. So now you have to do better. You have to stop the gossiping. You have to correct it. You have to stand up. You have to, because otherwise you're part of the slavery. You're part of the gossip. You're part of the bad karma. You don't know to get out of the way, right? You're getting swept up into it. And you're basically a shield for the one who's orchestrating it all. So there's plenty of people that get hit in the wake of the karma that comes because they're blind to it and they're participating in the gossip and they're not correcting it, standing up and getting out of the way. So it's like the one who needs to get hit the most to cut it from its root, it might not reach because they keep pulling people in. They keep pulling people in as shields, and those shields go down and out. So it's like you have to start loving yourself and honoring yourself and standing up for yourself and not partaking in other people's gossip and behavior that isn't honoring them or others. Yeah, it's like that intentional harm will get you. Yeah, I do. I find it fascinating to see it from this angle. I mean, and maybe it's like important that we all do, right? I feel like sometimes when we do see things in a new angle or hear them a new way, even though it's the same information, it is really beneficial. We've talked about this before, where it's like, do unto others as you want done unto you. But a lot of people don't hear that. They can't hear that. They have no problem still being assholes. But if you say, don't do to others what you don't want done to you, all of a sudden they can kind of hear that. It's like, oh, okay, right? Sometimes people need to hear it a new way. It's the same thing, but said a different way, it'll click. It's like, oh shit, that's coming back to me? That's what's gonna... Yes, yes. And so when you start to honor yourself, you honor others. Okay. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.